Hello, welcome to the Mike's DIY Tips channel on YouTube. I'm Mike, and so far I've made well over 20 videos on various aspects of DIY working, and I thought it was about time I showed you my toolbox because its design and construction and some of its contents could be of particular interest to you. The overall size of the toolbox in centimetres is 33 by 48 by 25, and in inches it's 13 by 19 by 10 inches. The construction is generally out of 9mm plywood because I wanted it strong enough to not only use it as a bit of a workstation, a worktop, but I wanted to be able to stand on it safely as well. The two catches here are proprietary catches, but I've made specially these metal hooks for the catch to work on. Those are not the original that came with the catch. Now I've turned the box round because I want to draw your attention to the hinges. I've deliberately fitted the hinges the wrong way round so that they're screwed to the top of the lid and screwed to the back here. The idea is that on the one hand the lid will fall right down like that. There's no danger of straining the hinges. The other thing is that when I'm working on the top, that acts as a stop when I'm trying to cut off a piece of wood or small moulding. If we lift the lid to see what we've got inside, we've got various lift out trays, 4 of them. The idea of the toolbox is to have a self-contained set of tools and fixings to enable me to go out on a job quickly and be able to tackle many different types of mending, fixing and repairing jobs. In this one we've got an assortment of screws. If you're not sure of the length, there's a scale along here to check them against, so you can find out which length you've got in your hand. Wall fixings. Underneath that we've got various other connecting blocks, mirror plates. Here's an interesting thing. If ever you're adjusting hinges on a door, you might have to plug the existing screw holes and make some new ones, and these are ready-made little plugs. And there's various other little brackets and some longer screws there with frame fixing type sleeves. Underneath here is my cable and pipe detector for when drilling blindly in walls, packet of sundry sandpaper, a little diamond sharpening device just to touch up small tools. In this one I've got a few masonry drills, a short steel rule, dividers for marking out or taking measurements, tweezers for getting splinters out of fingers so that you can carry on working, assorted nails and small tacks and so on in there. In this lift out tray we've got various twist drills, a couple of nail punches, pencil, and here's an interesting thing. For very tiny twist drills you can use this type of pencil lead holder as used by a draftsman for his drawing pencil. Ideal. Underneath I've got an assortment of washers and cappings and spacers and other odd items which I throw in because I don't know where else to put them. This ledge has been really useful. I only included it in the construction of the toolbox as an afterthought, but I'm very glad I did, because if you're taking screws out or want to put a little component down temporarily but know where to find it, or know where to find your pencil, your screwdriver bit, that ledge is ideal. It has an upstand on the front to stop stuff rolling off so that you can carry the whole box safely to and from location or in and out of the car. I just want to say a few words about the construction of these lift out trays. This narrow one is pretty straightforward. It's a thin sheet of aluminium bent down and round and round and up again, and this end piece is just simply a piece of 10mm softwood, or you could use plywood. It's nailed through with panel pins and also reinforced with epoxy resin glue. I'll come back to the bending of aluminium sheet shortly. Now this other one is more complicated, as you can see, and I'll just give you a demonstration of the construction of these dividers. So there's the tray, and here's a sample of the crisscross dividers. Obviously your compartment sizes vary according to the size of screw you want to put in it, so you've got to mark out very carefully. So the trick is, when you've done your marking out, cut 1, 2, 3 pieces all together so that the slots are exactly lining up. Now I've just got 2 pieces here like that, but you put them together like that and clamp them in the vise and cut the slots together so you know that they line up. And with these members that way, the slots are cut halfway down from the top, and the pieces crossing the other way are cut halfway up from the bottom so that they interlock like that. You do need a thin file like this in order to smooth the slots, make them wider or deeper for the whole thing to go together well. Now let's look at drawer construction. As you can see, we've got 3 drawers. The bottom one is a bit deeper than these 2. The construction is similar to the lift out trays. An aluminium sheet bent all the way around, all the way up to there, halfway up here. The edge of the aluminium here is riveted to the plywood front with little nails which are cut off here and riveted over and then filed smooth. I wanted to use aluminium to give me maximum depth inside my drawer, to give maximum capacity for the whole toolbox. Bending of the aluminium is covered by a separate video called Bending Metal, and at the end of this video there will be a link for you to click to go and watch it if you wish. Just another useful detail, I've lined the bottom of all these drawers with very thin cardboard to avoid metal to metal sliding about and the scraping noise that you get from that. Let's have a look at some of the contents of these 3 drawers. As you might expect, I've got a good selection of screwdrivers, a smaller range of screwdrivers there. These are useful. These are cranked screwdrivers for getting into awkward places. These are extended screwdriver bits to go into my rechargeable screwdriver. Excellent for getting into awkward places. I always carry 2 bradawls. One is like a screwdriver bit and this one is sharpened to a point. Very good for putting an indent to start a screw. I always carry quite a few pencils and also a rubber to rub out unwanted pencil marks. Here's an interesting thing, it's a vernier gauge where you can use it to check the thickness of something or the diameter of a screw or something like that. You need to learn how to use the gauge because it can give you quite an accurate reading. It also will measure the inside of a tube or a hole as well as the outside of an object. Always carry a small level. If you want a longer one, you can simply tape that onto a longer piece of wood. This comes in handy now and again. It's a simple black plastic holder for a hacksaw blade when you're trying to cut, usually between a fence panel and a fence post, because you want to remove the panel and that's the only way you can cut the nail. All along here I've got various screwdriver bits, countersunk bits. In the second drawer, a measuring tape. I always keep one of these in the car as well, so wherever I am, I'm hopefully always got a measuring tape. PVC tape, and I've done a video on the various uses of PVC tape. A whole set of files. For this one's a good one, it's a very fine one, ideal for finishing off and so on. That's a triangular one, 2 round ones, half round one and a square one. That can be quite useful at times. Here I've got a set of special drills for drilling glass and ceramic tiles. So I keep those in a box there so that I know where to find them. Here we've got a fine saw, and as you can see it's a handy one because it doesn't have a rigid back like a tenon saw, so with patience I can cut down quite a lot. So that's the second drawer. And finally the bottom drawer. 2 lots of pliers, adjustable grips. These are very, very useful. You adjust the capacity of the jaws with this screw here. The plumber's adjustable wrench, so we can tighten up or loosen plumbing fittings with that. An ordinary adjustable wrench, it goes up to about 25mm. Chisels, there's a range of 4 chisels there, and you'll notice that they've got various sorts of protection. That's the centre roll out of a fax paper roll. That's another bit of plastic I picked up somewhere and it's been very useful. I often tape that on when I'm travelling with it in a smaller tool bag. A bit of garden hose pipe does the job of protecting, not only damaging your nice sharp chisel, but of course protecting you from personal injury. Also in the box a little block plane so that at least I can do a small bit of planing. I've got 4 simple clamps there. 4 other ones. These are also very useful because you can adjust them quickly and they are quite effective. Handy knife. Some bits of chalk and French chalk for marking perhaps a brick wall or a piece of metal. Also I keep a little bit of candle wax in there because when dealing with wooden furniture with wooden sliding drawers on wooden runners, a little bit of candle wax on the runner makes a world of difference to the functioning of the drawer. One more thing I carry in this bottom drawer is an envelope full of smaller envelopes, and these are used to collect dust when I'm drilling a wall. I just punch out the corner like that, fix to the wall with some PVC tape and drill a hole, and all the dust goes into the envelope which you then throw away. Originally when I made the toolbox I used to have a small rechargeable electric drill which used to go in this bottom drawer, but that became redundant and my new one won't go in here. So my drill I have to carry separately, and here it is. So here's my drill. It's a combi drill because it not only drills holes, it's got a hammer drill action and it also will drive screws, so they call it a combi drill. And it's an 18-volt battery with a spare battery and charger, and it's really powerful. I'm so pleased with it. I also carry some spare screwdriver bits, and also, it's worth mentioning, this is a magnetic extension piece, so that if you're having trouble starting a screw you can use this, put an ordinary bit in the magnetic part, and if it's a steel screw you're using, it will hold on to the screw while you get it started. When I bought the drill I wasn't very pleased with the case because the bottom of the case, the feet, only came to there and to there, and so when you put it onto uneven ground it would tipple over, which annoyed me quite a lot. So what I've done is I've utilised the square hole underneath there, that's hollow, and I've simply put a rectangular piece of wood in there and glued it in, and here, and then stained it black, and now it's much more stable standing up. I hope you enjoyed looking at my #1 toolbox and its contents. That was by no means my full range of tools, because on certain types of work I often have to carry other tools, bigger ones, heavier ones, means of sharpening them and so on, and to do that I throw most of them into this tool caddy, which is ideal because you can see at a glance what you've got and where it is. Now, if you like my videos and would like to get automatic notification of when future videos are launched, you can click on the circular icon appearing on screen on the left now, or to watch that video on bending metal you can click the next rectangular icon, or there are 2 more rectangular icons appearing showing you other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll join us again very soon.